What's up, Internet? So, I'm not working in the garage today, I'm actually working in my house because sometimes you can have mechanical aptitude but not really understand certain things in a house. So, home improvement projects are a huge thing that can cost a lot of money, but there's a lot of simplicities. So, today we're actually changing out a set of sconce lights. Sconces is a really fancy word for lights that hang on the wall instead of in the ceiling. So we're going to change ours out because my house came with these really ugly seashell cone looking things. So let's get started. So obviously the first thing you want to do is you want to turn off the breaker to whatever circuit that goes to. So if you look right here, main room, I actually have a sub panel. So this is in my basement that runs just the basement, but I have a main panel that is in the garage of my home. So just go ahead and flip that off. Generally it'll go to the outside. It'll turn off really easy, and then put it back on, you'll feel the tension against it. So once that's off, we can go take the light off and start messing with wires. Okay, with the power off, I can go ahead and start taking this light off. As you can see, it is super ugly. So you just want to kind of look at the light, see how it comes apart. These metal balls right here actually go to screws that go into the mounting plate. So I'll take these off, and then the whole light itself will come off. Okay, so I got the cover off. So then I need to take this plate off, and if you look right here in the back, there's a little nut. It won't come off with the bulb, so I'll take the bulb off. And then you just take this off, this hand screws, and then this whole part will come off, and you're into the wiring and the guts that's inside the light. All right, with everything kind of pulled out, you can see the lights hanging by just the wires, and housing isn't really crimped or anything. It's just got these twist nuts, so you just lefty-loosey, and the wire comes off. Same thing with this one. Lefty-loosey, the wire comes off. And you'll have 3 wires to deal with inside of a light. You'll have this unsheathed wire, which is normally copper, and that's your ground. And you have black and automotive, and that's normally a ground. This is actually your load wire, and then the white is just your ungrounded wire. So most modern lights that you get from the United States, they will have this set up. So you'll have a copper wire, put it to the copper, white to white, black to black. If you reverse the polarity, it can cause problems and can cause the light to burn out. So you want to make sure you set that up. Now, some of the lights that you get from Amazon, they will have a different color scheme. It's because they're on the European color code. So you'll just have to look up the diagram. I don't remember which colors go for load, unload, and ground for the European ones. All right, now you can see we've got the old bracket out and just the wires there. Moose is coming down to help. So next you're going to want to find your new mounting bracket. Now, depending on the style of light, you might be able to use your old mounting bracket, but with the lights, they are 2 different mount styles. So I got my new mounting bracket. As you can see, it's this weird switchblade contortionist looking thing. So the simple way for this is these long studs is where it's going to mount to the light. This flat part is where it's going to mount to the box. So you're going to loosen that, and then you're just going to find how it orientates to the box. You can see I've got the hole here and the hole here. So in my case, I will have to turn it like that. I'll screw it in. That way this can rotate and sit level. That's the big thing. You always want to make sure that it gets to the point where it's level, and then I'll just mount it to the box just like that with the screw holes that are in there. Okay, as you can see, I've got my bracket mounted up here, and this part is still loose. Now, the best thing to do with that is you want to get this perfectly level and then lock it down. And these 2 center screws, this one here and this one here, will lock that down. So go out to Walmart and get a really cheap tiny level, set it on the screws, and once it's level, just lock it down. All right, so this next part I'm going to show you kind of like right in front of the camera because it's going to be easier to see since I'm filming everything myself. but you're going to want to put the wire nuts and just match the colors up. Now there's a kind of a trick to putting the wire nuts on. They're really simple, but I'm going to use this old light, one of the old wire nuts, to show you. So if your wire ends look like this, you might want to trim them and strip the wires back, but you want to turn them so it's got a nice uniform twist like that. And you always want to twist it to the right, like righty-tighty. The reason for that is when you go to put a wire nut on or anything like that, since you're going to be tightening it with the screws in here, if you do it to the left, it's actually going to fray and unravel. So you'll have a solid wire in the wall. These are frayed wires, so that, I think this is considered wire, the other one's cabling. So you'll put the wires together as even as possible, and then same thing, twist to the right. So when they're twisted to the right like that, same thing, they're going to be real tight, and then you just take the wire nut, and same thing, and my dog Abby's coming up to help as well. You're going to twist to the right, and it'll start, you'll feel it getting tight, and you just keep tightening until it won't turn anymore. And then the wire nut's on. And boom, light's installed. So I connected my wires, and those two studs that I was telling you about, they just go through the light, and there's this decorative kind of balls that go on here and screw on there. And that's what holds the light to the mounting bracket. So we'll throw the bulb in here, turn the power back on, and see how we did. And the bulb is in, power's on. Let's hit the switch, and let there be light. So as you can see, these don't put out a ton of light. They're a vintage style bulb, but it was the look we're going for. We've got can lights in the basement, so these are more decorative than anything, but I really like the look of them and the light design. You can't really see on the video because it gets flashed out, but it's more of like an Edison style bulb, which is really, really nice. So hopefully this helps. If you have projects that you're working on, and you can do some home stuff without having to pay an electrician to do it. It's really simple. There's always risk and danger when it comes to electricity, but I have faith in you. Till next time.